All right, let's see if this works now. I'm gonna try to bring Hazy in. All right, let's see. Oh, there she is. All right. All right, let's see if we can get her to join.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I think, should I turn it the other way? It looks like one of us is sideways.
I know, yeah, you're sideways right now.
Okay, let me switch it.
The technical difficulties of
I know.
live.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, hold on one sec. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this. Like, I'm so excited. I just fell in love with your jars. I mean, I'm sure you get this all the time, but well, I will just tell the viewers, we don't have a lot of people on live today. I feel like it's a tricky time sometimes in the middle of the afternoon, but everyone usually logs on afterwards. So I am going to share with everyone that this is Hazy Mae and the founder of got paused, sorry. Cookie jar maker, founder of Hazy Mae cookie jars, and pretty much the coolest gifts you will ever find. Although I feel like I would just buy them all the time, not even as gifts, just to collect them.
Right.
You probably have so many collectors, I'm sure, right?
I do. I mean, the company's fairly new, so it's only been a couple of years, but I have stores that consistently, buy from me and people that collect, yeah.
Okay, so I have to jump right into it because I'm just so fascinated about how you started this and just your path into building this and launching this amazing brand. So tell me how you got started.
Well, it all started one day. I received a package, and when I opened it, there was this boy bear cookie jar inside, and I was just instantly smitten. I love like the size of it. I love the utility. I love the character. So I started going to like markets and looking for all kinds of different cookie jars, and I just completely fell in love with it. I mean, they're sort of strange. They're nostalgic. They're kind of kooky. So I started collecting them, and I ended up with like 100 of them. And
where did you put 100 cookie jars?
I know, seriously, especially in New York City, right? They
right.
were, and now mine are everywhere. So as you can see, but yeah. So I started doing these like large scale paintings of them and making animated films of like my favorite ones. And then one day I just thought like I was getting a little bit sick of like the oversaturation of color, and like how they didn't really all belong together. Like they belonged together because I loved them, but they were, just different companies, different time periods and stuff. So I just thought like I kind of really want like my own, and I want them to be like modern and like fresh and like fit into like what my aesthetic was really.
Mm-hmm.
So I started sketching, and it was just like the floodgates opened. Like it was like, oh my god, I can make anything a cookie jar because no one else is really doing it, And I just had like this love of character, and I had been collecting them for so long. I had this kind of understanding of, what people kind of like to see, but also I had my own like modern sort of take on it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I joined a ceramic studio and started making them, and it was just like I every single second of my life that I could, I spent doing it. I was like, I love
So
this.
you didn't do ceramics prior to this. You just had a love of cookie jars.
Well, no, I mean I have a bachelor's and a master's in fine art, so
Okay. All right. That makes a little more
yeah,
sense. I was like, hold on.
yeah, no. But I never really like loved ceramics. I mean, ceramics is very hard. You know, it was never like my medium of choice. I mean, I liked it and I enjoyed the classes that I took, but it's a very labor intensive, very long process, and I'm very impatient.
Yeah.
And for me to like sit and wait 3 weeks for something to dry is very out of character. It's
Yeah.
for me. But you know, I love the way that it looks. I love that it's sort of like delicate and sort of ethereal in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
I love working with clay. I mean, I've always loved sculpting. And I've just completely fallen in love with it. And I think because it's like the medium chose me, I didn't choose it.
So did you know that you instantly wanted to make it into a business, or did you just kind of start it as something for yourself and then it kind of turned into that? Or did you have like an aha moment?
Well, I knew that I wanted to do something with the cookie jars, and I had like a million different business ideas. I mean, I knew
Right.
that I as an artist, like I knew that there was going to be one track to follow, and I had a lot of different ideas. And I think when I started sketching them, I was like, this is it. Like I just felt it. Like I knew, like this could go on forever. You know, like,
Yeah.
I could make. I just knew that I had like locked into something inspirationally that was just like infinite, you know. And then making them was incredibly frustrating, and I definitely had moments where I was like, I can't do this. Like I've had a lot of moments where I thought I can't do this, but I think I kind of always thought it would be a business. I mean, I jumped into a buyer's market right away, very naively. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I mean, I
Right.
kind of thought that people were going to be like, okay, I'll take that one for my store and that one for my store, you know, but they ordered like multiples of them, and you know, I was completely unprepared for that, and so at the beginning, it was like, what am I doing right now?
Right.
But it's turned into just an amazingly joyful business that I
What do
couldn't
you
be.
think? I mean, I just fell in love with them, and you kind of know that experience of falling in love with these jars because you used to collect them. But what do you think that is it that draws people in so much to your jars?
I think it has a lot to do with like nostalgia. I think there's no one who doesn't really love a cookie jar, like whether it's like childhood memories or kind of like the whimsy of it or the strangeness of it or like what's in it.
Right.
So I think it's really powerful about like that it takes us back to like being in a kitchen with your mom or your grandmother. You know, people will often come up to me and say, "Oh, I remember my one cookie jar that I had, and it was a pig or it was this," you know. So it kind of brings them back, you know. But I also am like a total nerd. Like I research everything, and so every character is like it has a lot of like love and research and everything that goes into it. And so I think I just kind of took like a low end product that's something that's typically sort of low end, and I just made it sort of like sophisticated and fun and like made to kind of fit into contemporary like beautiful kitchens.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
think
I
it's
think that
those things. Sorry.
I think no, I was gonna say I think that and that's kind of what draws me in, and it's what I'm kind of attracted to a lot of the time on various design things, and is that it has that mix of nostalgia and fun and excitement, but it's something that is super chic and cool that you still want to put in your kitchen, right? Like let's say you've got, this beautiful, crazy modern kitchen or something like that. This would totally fit into your kitchen because it is very like refreshing and modern and just I don't know, there's something about it that feels different than, like you said, a lot of different cookie jars all over the place in different colors, and it kind of isn't the prettiest thing to look at even though you love them.
Right. Yeah.
And this is beautiful, and it actually is like something to look at, and you get both the best of both worlds. It's something beautiful to look at, but also something that brings all of those like good feels and all the good vibes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So kind of jumping into the backing up a little bit to what you had just said is that, you know, you had a million different ideas and a million different business ideas, and also a lot of times where you're like, oh, this isn't going to work, or oh, I can't do this. And I think that when people see things, you know, especially on social, but people see very creative things happening that they love, but women like yourself that are successful, and you don't always get to see that journey to that point. And so what do you have to say about as far as, you know, do you second guess yourself? Do you still second guess yourself? And when you do, how do you kind of pull yourself out of that and continue to create?
Well, I think that I definitely like am like obsessive sort of. I have like I overthink everything, but I think it's like the small things now. I think I used to before this overthink like everything, and I
Right.
like what am I doing? Like how can this be my life? You know, like why can't I like get it together? You know. And then I know that I don't mean this in like a religious sense necessarily, but I really started like praying or, you know, meditating for some sort of like guidance. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And it takes like anything. It's like working out. Like if you do it one day, you're like, oh, that was so hard. I should be looking like this now, you know? But the more that you do it, the more like the stronger that becomes. And so, you know, I think that like anything, it takes like a habit of being of sort of like praying and meditating and asking for like what is it that I'm supposed to be doing here. And you can do that with big things, and now I do it with little things. I think that if I am second guessing something or obsessing over something, I've become really attached to like the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like now I know that I have to say to myself, okay, you know, you have no control over anything really. Like you can
Yeah.
try things, you can take like the steps that are best for you, you can take care of yourself, but in the end, like, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen, you know, and when you let it go like that, I mean, amazing things happen. I mean, I'll be like crying to myself saying, you know, sleep deprived, saying I can't do this is too hard, you know, and then someone like you will reach out to me, or like I'll get a giant order, or, you know, it's like I think when you do what you're supposed to, you're kind of brought along on this like invisible thread that's just like, oh no, you're not going to stop. You're going to keep going with this. So, yeah, I mean, my advice is to just, you know, like pray or meditate in whatever way that you can for, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and to just let go and like surrender to what's going to happen, because you don't know and you'll never know.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads me into my next question, actually, because you have wish jars. So explain what a wish jar is.
Well, a wish jar, you know, I was like, I really believe in manifesting, obviously, but so I a lot of times will like write down what I want, you know, and I read it every day just because I think it kind of keeps me like on track.
Yeah.
So I was finding like I'd write stuff down and then I'd put it like in a random cookie jar sometimes, and I'd open it a couple months later and be like, oh my God, this all came true. Like, so I decided to make like little mini ones, like this. You can see. So they're like little mini jars, like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're really sweet, and they come with these little wish cards. And so you write down like I wish, and then the instructions are here. So it says I'm a wish jar, and then on the
I
other.
love that. Uh, those are so cute. I love that. I actually had a wish jar, I don't know, probably like 15 years ago now. And I was hoping that it was very similar. It was basically the same thing. And I was hoping that it was the same thing, but I wasn't sure. So I wanted to hear what your explanation was. But yes, I had one and I loved it. And then it broke. And so I never got one since, but they are just, I love that idea of kind of manifesting, and I agree. It's like if you write something down and you sort of didn't just like put it out into the universe and let it go. And I think there's something really powerful in that. And it's so much fun to go back and look and be like, oh, wait, this happened. Or, oh, you know, it's really fun.
Right. And part of like believing that and seeing that is what makes things happen. You're like, oh, I am in control here on some level, and that like I can visualize and daydream about, you know, what I want, and then it comes true, you know?
Totally. Well, I want to get into sort of your process. I think that it's really interesting. You were saying that there's so much research and love and thought that goes into each one of your characters. So can you kind of walk us through, once you get an order or once you decide that you want to do a new design, like what is the process from start to finish that it goes through?
Okay, so once I get an order, I'll build like a base. I don't have all of that in here right now, but what I do have is I start building it out. They're very, very fragile. So this is like a clay piece. So
Wow.
what it looks like, it's actually like this really dark, wet clay. And so I
It's a
hand
little dark. Who is she? I can't
this
tell.
is this is our RBG.
Okay.
You kind of see her. I don't know.
So good. Ah,
There you
yes.
go. So they start out like this, and so then I hand sculpt each one, and like it kind of like goes in pieces, and I'll do the glasses, and then I cut it open. I'm afraid to open it right now because I'm like a little nervous.
It's okay. You don't have to open it.
So then after that, it dries for like 3-4 weeks. And then it becomes, I don't have an example of that one dry, but I have like the top of this one. I don't know if you can see it. It becomes like this sort of like matte, right?
Okay. Yep.
So that's the first firing after 3 weeks have gone by. And then when that comes out, I glaze it so that it looks like this. They don't look very different, but you can kind of see. It's almost like a
Yeah.
Japanese blue a little bit. It's like a light blue, but it's bright
Okay.
white. And then it becomes like this. So it's like this shiny sort of white. And then I use like a chrome pen to make an outline.
Okay.
Just because it's a little bit easier to like control, and then I go over the pen with paint, with silver paint.
Okay.
And so that's when they become like this.
That's so cool. So it's about like what, 5 steps?
I guess so. I have this little card that I give to everybody. It's on my website too. It's like first I hit, then they dry, then they bisque fire, then I glaze them. So it's like 8 steps.
Wow.
About it. But
So
yeah,
amazing.
it's a big process, but it's fun. It's like exciting. It's a little like animation when I used to do animation that, you go through so many different steps and then it's like,
Yeah. So, and do you work out of your house, or you have a studio? Like, where do you keep all of these jars?
Well, right now I make everything here. I work really late at night while everybody's asleep because it's very like relaxing for me. So I make the cookie jars here, and then I bring them in like big giant bins to a ceramic studio where they fire them, and there I glaze them over there. They fire them again, and then I bring them back here to like paint, which is like a whole like 10, 11 steps.
Yeah, that's a lot of steps, a lot of work. So what do you do when you're trying to like check out and take some time for yourself? Because obviously, it's a creative outlet that you do as your work. So what do you do then to kind of escape that, or escape all of the craziness of getting things out to people and running your business?
I don't too much. I mean, I'm mostly either like working or sleeping.
Yeah,
But
sleep is definitely a number one for me.
yeah, right? I do. I love it. So it's either one or the other. Because I love working too, but like again, I work really late at night when everybody's asleep, and it's very like relaxing for me to do that. I meditate every day for about 20 minutes. I have to tell my kids that like if I'm like this, like don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
Doesn't really work, but sometimes. And I actually I spend a lot of time with my daughters, like, and that's like a break for me because I try to completely not think about work, not talk about work. I stay like really present with them. And so that's like a break. Also, we have a lot of fun. We like go out and do stuff and dress up and.
I love that. So I wanted to talk to you really quickly before we finish up about your pop-ups, because I know you have, that's actually how I discovered you, is through the Secretly Gifting. I think your Instagram is how I kind of stumbled upon your Instagram and was like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to this person. She is doing amazing things. And I have to I have so many questions for her. So I discovered you from them, but you're doing a pop-up with them in DC, which I'm dying. I would love to go to their pop-up. It looks so beautiful. But then also you're doing another pop-up, right?
I am, yeah. I'm doing another pop-up that opens on the 16th, which is very
Okay.
soon. The old Cartier boutique on Madison Avenue, and it's Lizzie Tish Limited, and I'm beyond thrilled to be a part of it. It's going to be really exciting.
Wow.
Like a lot of other really great vendors that are selling, insanely beautiful things. So that's really exciting. So that goes from the 16th of November to the 16th of December.
Oh, so soon. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm gonna have to go because that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Are you in? Where are you?
Well, I'm in New Jersey right now, and I'm back and forth between the city because we left and now we're in between houses. So yeah, I'm a little bit back and forth. What's
Yeah.
that?
You have to come to it.
Yes, I definitely want to come to it. I mean, I'll be in town, during the holiday season to like get my fix of whatever I can get my fix of at this point. But I love sort of pop-ups like that, just with so many different vendors, and just kind of the discovery of it is like my favorite thing, especially during the holiday season because there's so many of them.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And they have like an exhibition designer who designed this sort of like industrial feel to it. So it's like kind of like the rebuilding of New York City because of, what's happening. Like there's a lot of empty storefronts and everything. So I just think it's going to be really like exciting and beautiful and also very cool. So
Yeah. So now will you be taking orders, or will people be able to buy things right there?
I will probably do a little bit of both. I've worked really, really hard to have some things in stock for the holidays. It didn't work very well, partially because secretly gifting is like selling everything that I have. But also, I've just tried to prepare because last year I was not prepared and I was like overnighting things and it was nuts. So I wanted to have things available. So I have like a little bit of stock. I haven't fully decided, how I'm going to deal with that. But I definitely people can take home things. Like I have this new line of fashion inspired vasettes. They're like these mini.
Yes.
This is one of them here. So
Oh my gosh, wait, bring it closer. I have to see it up close. Oh, so cute.
cute. So I have like 20 or 30 of those coming out. So all of those will be available. I mean, basically anything I have, you can walk away with. But I probably will also take orders if there's something that someone wants that's, not there.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, if people, if you're watching this and you want to get an order in, get it in fast because, you want to be ahead of the curve for the holiday season. And obviously, these are in high demand. And also, you have been so kind to offer an exclusive discount for our viewers. So what discount code did we decide on? NAP, right?
Yes.
Yep. So you can put in the code NAP and you'll get an exclusive discount code of these amazing jars that everyone should have. I feel like I want to buy one for everyone in my family. Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming on and, just like jumping on and scheduling this with me. Is because I discovered you and was like, I have to message her right away. I was just so excited to reach out to you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really fun and it was very exciting.
Yes, and good luck with the pop-up. Hopefully, maybe I'll see you there because I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, good luck with all of the holiday season madness.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Bye.